Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Final Fantasy draft here on the channel, my first one on my own account. Our rare is Xenos Galvis, and I know I'm saying these names wrong, I've never played the games, but this card is cool because he comes in and he can be a card you set up the game around, so he gives everything -2/-2 except for himself and the chosen creature, which the opponent is going to control. So you can kill all the small things, and then if you kill the big thing, you get an 8/8 flyer. And so that's a really strong card. I also like starting in black because it's one of my favorite colors in these early days. There's also Furion, Wild Rose Warrior, which is another rare. It does benefit equipped creatures, giving them haste, and it lets you temporarily get a copy of equipments, which is nice because you can double up on like job select equipments, which is like all the ones in this set for the most part. And so you can keep the token even though the equipment will sacrifice itself. So it's a solid card. Dragoon's Lance is a really good equipment. I would probably take it if there wasn't Xenos Galvis. There's some really good cards in this pack. I didn't get to talk about all of them, but Xenos Galvis is one that I'm really happy to start with. Now, when you start off with a powerful rare, and I would say that this one is between solid and really good, when you start off with a rare like this, it makes you bias towards its color with your future picks. So if a close pick comes up, I will be taking black cards to try and keep my Xenos Galvis in my deck. Now, in this pack, there's Shantoto, Tactician Mage, which is a premium card in blue-red. Like, this is one of the best possible cards you can have. It's like a must-kill threat. It just gets you so much card advantage, and it attacks for a lot of damage for just 3 mana. It also blocks quite well. There is, however, some black cards in this pack that I really like. There's Albad Salvagers, so 3 mana, 2/3, and when another creature dies, the opponent loses a life and you gain a life, so that's very good, but I think it's slightly weaker than Vane's Treachery, which is the card I am going to select. 2 mana, -2/-2 to a creature, so good early interaction, but you can also sack an artifact or creature to give something -6/-6 in the late game, so it's premium removal there. It plays very, very well with Xenos Galvis, because if you know your creature's already going to die, you can take the time to shrink something down. Now, pick 3, we see another Shantoto, and sometimes in draft, you can be like, oh, I missed the train. This isn't really one of those cases because I don't really feel like it was ever reasonable to take the Shantoto there. I think taking one of the black cards is by far a correct pick, but seeing another Shantoto is interesting. It's worth noting for sure. The other cards that are good in this pack is Thunder Magic, which is a really good removal spell in red. It's very flexible, so you can either kill something small or something medium-sized, or even in the late game, kill something pretty much any size by dealing 8 damage to it, and that is premium interaction at common. Now, a card that would require me going into a second color, so I think instead I am going to take Demon Wall. And the reason for this is Demon Wall is a 3/3, so it survives Xenos Galvis, so it fits well into the same like control decks, and in the late game it grows into a must-kill threat. Genji Glove is much more of an aggressive card, so even though it's colorless, 5 to play, 3 to equip is a lot, and it does make it a lot harder to use because you do have to only fit it into certain shells. Now, pick 4. We have 3 black cards, which is a great start because it makes it very likely that we can just keep taking black cards, stay flexible, and end up with a pretty nice shell. The Phantom Train is a card I would not recommend taking or putting in your deck because it doesn't have a buyout clause for crewing it, so you have to have something to sacrifice, which is oftentimes not going to be the case. There's Ahriman as a reasonable black card that you can sacrifice things, 3 mana, 2/2, reasonable stats, Death Touch means it can trade with anything. There is also Shinra Reinforcement. So none of the black cards are spectacular. I think the best one is the Ahriman, but I think in this pack it's a good opportunity to delve into a second color, and there's 2 main options. I'm thinking between Chocobo Kick, which would be a nice removal spell and put me into black-green, and then there is Relentless X ATM, which is a nice top-end card, and I'm going to bias towards the removal spell. It doesn't mean that I'm going to play black-green, but it does mean that I'm going to get a powerful card and see what's available in that space. And now, pick 5, we see Diamond Weapon, which is one of those cards that is very powerful in the right home and not very useful outside of that. And in the black-green deck is where it shines. In the previous pack, when we took Chocobo Kick, there was the 3 mana 2/3. I'm sorry, it's early on, so I still don't remember all of their names, but it mills you 3 cards. And that card is really good with Diamond Weapon because anytime you mill a permanent, it's going to cost 1 less on your Diamond Weapon. And seeing this, pick 5 is a bit of a sign that black-green might be open, even if green is a little bit contested. We don't know that yet. We did just get a Chocobo Kick, which is good in any green deck. But even if green was contested, black-green, this card is where this card really shines. There's also another Ahriman, and there is a Scorpion Sentinel, which is a really good blue card. But we're just going to keep taking the green cards while we're seeing them because there's no reason to abandon that strategy for now. Pick 6 here. There's not a great green card. The Loperit Scout is not a spectacular card, so we're not going to be too interested in that. There is, however, a Baron Rivalry, so Deadly Dispute. That's a reasonable card that you can use. Sacrifice something to draw 2 cards and make a treasure token. And then in red and black, the other black card is Black Mage's Rod, which is much more of an aggressive card. If you notice, a lot of our black cards are leaning more controlling. The Demon Wall, the Xenos, both of them are more controlling cards. There is a Call the Mountain Chocobo and Black Waltz. If I was going to get one of those, I'd rather have the Black Waltz. So this is more of an aggressive card. This is more of an aggressive card. So we could still transition our deck towards that more aggressive direction. Okay, now there is Combat Tutorial. There is Blue-Black Land, no green cards. And there's Q-Trube Forayer. Black Mage's Rod is okay, but it really is more of an aggressive tool. We could take it here. It does ping away at the opponent a little bit. Gives me something to sacrifice to Vane's Treachery. I think 1 Black Mage's Rod would be fine. I do like Combat Tutorial a decent amount, though. So I am tempted to just take that. I think we will take the Combat Tutorial. Black Mage's Rod is like a card I'd want 1 copy of, maybe. And then we get an Ilmeg Pixie. So a really premium 2-drop pretty late in the draft. I do feel a little bit sad about missing out on the blue-black dual land because I love my dual lands, but I think Combat Tutorial is just above dual land in my pick order. And then Suplex is a really good red card. We are seeing that black has dried up a little bit, but that's okay. We can make it work in pack 2. I don't think we want to completely abandon it, though, because we did start with 3 really good black cards. Ilmeg Pixie, however, is a really good 2-drop. We just took a blue card. We are leaning towards this blue-black lifestyle at the moment. And now we can take a cargo ship. It's not the greatest card in blue-black, but we could maybe find a home for it. Adventurer's Airship isn't the greatest. It's looking like black is drying up, but that is okay. We're still going to be in fine shape here. There's a Valkyrie aerial unit, a nice top-end card. We might end up with a couple of artifacts. We already have the cargo ship. The Gubu Gardener and the blue-green land aren't huge priorities for me. We got an Arimon to come back. Nice. Just getting a little bit more black into the deck. And we wield the Shinra reinforcements, which is really nice, especially if we do end up transitioning back towards green-black. Though it was looking like the blue-black deck was flowing a little bit more. We'll get this black-red land just in case we want to play a Black Waltz number 3 style deck. And then we get a red-green land last. So if we did want to splash, that those both will help us with that. Okay. Pack 2. So it's looking like green wasn't that open. Black kind of started to fade out for us as well. The only color we don't have a single card in is white. And blue started to look reasonably open towards the end, getting the late Valkyrie. Combat Tutorial. So we could be looking at blue-black or green-black still. There is Quina, Q Gourmet. I'm trying not to go into green right now. I would have loved to get a great black card. I don't think Dark Knight's Greatsword is particularly great, just because it's more of an aggressive card. 3 mana for a 4/1, essentially, that then you can re-equip later. It's okay, but it's nothing spectacular. So between that and Scorpion Sentinel, I think I might just take the Scorpion Sentinel. It's a really good card in blue-black control decks. It plays well with the Valkyrie aerial unit. And blue was looking reasonably open towards the end of that pack. Now there is another Demon Wall. This card's going to be great for me. This is pretty much exactly what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping to get good black cards because black is the color I know I'm playing. Even though it didn't seem that open pack 1, it still has a lot of 3 really good cards in it. And I think it's going to be kind of hard to abandon it because this is my best card. And this is 2 of my other best cards. And pack 2 could be really good for black because we didn't see even that much black. And so the person next to us saw even less. Okay, pick 3. There's an Ilmeg Pixie. There is also a Shambling CF. But I don't think we're going towards that. I think we're just going to be playing a blue-black control deck. And Ilmeg Pixie is a great 2-drop for that strategy. There is also Queen Brane. But I think the Pixie's going to be good. Blue did seem open pack 1. Now there is Dreams of Laguna. Ooh, there's Vane's Treachery. So another copy of this card. Really good removal spell. There is a black-green card, but I think green did not seem that open. We took 2 green cards in a row, did not see a ton of other green. And we did see the late Ilmeg Pixie, the late Combat Tutorial. So those were both great. I do also like Dreams of Laguna as a card, but for now we'll just keep taking the black cards. This is our real opportunity to get a lot of black cards in this pack. Now we're going to take the land over the Combat Tutorial. We did the Combat Tutorial over the land last time, but at this point it does look like we are going to make playables. And when you're going to make playables, getting a land makes a huge difference because it just reduces your mulligan rate. So like if we look at our cards here, we have 13 cards here that we could totally be fine playing. And this land, the difference between Combat Tutorial and like the next best card is not so staggering that the land being better than a basic land will not outshine it, if that makes sense. And then look, we get a Combat Tutorial anyway. We're pretty happy to see that. I do not mind Deadly Dispute, but I think that Combat Tutorial is especially good when you have these like really premium 2-drops. We already have 5 really good 2-drops. And we probably won't play the cargo ship at this point. The Valkyrie aerial unit's also a little bit dicey on its inclusion, but we will still keep those tabs on those. The Corner by Black Mages is a card that I'm not the hugest fan of, though I have seen it do a little bit of stuff. Just overall seems a little bit weak to me. And then we get another Combat Tutorial. We see a Suplex as well, but currently we have 2 removal spells. We're just building towards a normal blue-black deck. No need to try to splash anything, even though we have the land. If we saw a crazy rare, we would maybe consider it. But for now, we're just Combat Tutorialing it up. And we'll just keep taking cards that we can actually include. We'll take the Airship or the Limit Break. I don't think Limit Break is that good in our deck. It's pretty reasonable with Xenos. I don't think we need 3 Combat Tutorials either. Now there's another Ahriman. Again, we're not trying to splash for Shantoto or anything like that. Now, Marlborough, I think, is a better pickup than the Relentless X. Relentless X is totally fine, but it's more aggressive and we're more controlling, I think. I mean, we are kind of aggressive in some ways. Undercity Dire Rat, another great card. We just want cards that go with the Combat Tutorials, so 2-drops are premium for us. Now, are we more likely to splash white or transition back to green? We're probably not transitioning back to green, so let's just take the land. And we'll take the white card. And last pick, Shinra. We don't really want to play Shinra in this deck, but we will have it just the same. Okay, so going into pack 3, we've got plenty of playables, so we just need to fill out our needs. Clive is a fantastic card, but it's very heavy red, and we're very heavy blue-black, so we're not going to be taking the Clive here, even though it's fantastic. There is Reno and Rude, so if we have things that we feel like we can sacrifice, we could use that. We don't really have that, though. Most of our cards are just stand on their own. This card would mostly just be a 2-mana 2/1 menace that we would then put counters on with Combat Tutorial. Heck Dies can always be solid. I think, however, in this case, we would like to take the Ice Magic just to get another interactive spell. We have the 2 Veins Treacheries, so getting another interactive spell will be real nice for us. Now there is land that can also be a sack outlet. There is Heck Dies. I think we'll take the Heck Dies here. Artifact or creature? Seems okay, honestly. This is a close pick. I think it's definitely between these two. This is going to be replacing a swamp in our deck, though, so let's just take this. We're going to definitely make playables. And when you're going to make playables, oh, baby. Sin. This is a great card. And we will be splashing it, if at all possible. Unfortunately, the colors do not line up with any of our lands right now. But even having a blue-black land still helps you splash. And Sin is a very strong card. We don't necessarily get to include it in the deck. We would probably like to find like one piece of fixing. And there is a really good card here, Lock Coal. But Sin is one of those cards that you play it and then you just win the game when it enters play, or one turn after, so we will take it. Rats, missing out again on the colors here. We'll take the 2/1. Unfortunate the lands are not lining up for the colors that Sin is. Sure. None of these cards are going to make the cut. Let's just take one of these uncommons, I guess. Wow. We get an Ultimacia. That's a very good card. There's also a Dragoon's Wyvern. But Ultimacia is really strong. Whew. Getting a land is very great for us here. Pick 7. One of our last chances too. I would love Demon Wall. I would definitely play it. But getting the land here to help us with the Sin, every little bit helps with these cards. And now we get Heck Dies. Whew. So now we can get away with playing like 2 forests or something. Wow, we got Heck Dies number 2. Heck Dies into combat tutorial is pretty reasonable. Also, Rook Turret. We don't have a lot of artifacts, though. Heck Dies plays well with the Arimans. Q-Kern Merchant. Sure. Not really looking to play that. Oh my gosh, we wield Lock Coal. That's fantastic. That makes me feel a lot better about taking this in. Because we got the card, we took it over. Okay, so I think we're going to play 18 lands in this deck because we have so much card draw. And we have a lot of filtering with the Ilmeg Pixies. And one of our lands can be a spell in some ways. So maybe we will want to include that guy. I don't think we want to play the Shinra reinforcements because we don't really have any graveyard synergies other than Ultimacia and Sin. And we were going to be using our Surveillors a lot to fulfill those needs. So looking at this build. 2 forests. So I have 6, 7, 8 blue sources, 6, 7, 8 black sources, 3 green sources, and then the treasure from the rat. Seems reasonable to me. And then Marlborough gives me an extra source. I think I'm going to cut the Valkyrie. It is kind of hard to use. Got some pretty great cards here. And I'm excited to see how it does. Ahriman, maybe a little dicey. But I think this is a good build. I'm excited to see how it does, and I will see you in the games. Before I get to the games, I want to give a huge shout out to all of the people who support my channel at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas. If you have been enjoying my videos, if you've been finding them educational, if you've been finding them entertaining, and you'd like to give back and support the channel, then Patreon is the best way to do that, and you gain access to some cool bonus content like my card by card tier list and format thoughts document as well. Special shout out to those patrons who support at the credits level. It makes a big difference, and without further ado, let's get to the games. Welcome to round 1. We will keep this hand. The Q-Kern Merchant was a card I wasn't certain about. Playing against a red deck. Red-black, so it could be aggressive, and that makes me very happy to have something like Demon Wall to hold off their early attacks. Three combat tutorials is a lot of combat tutorials, but 2-drop into combat tutorial is one of the best starts for my deck. And I think my deck has enough early defensive tools like Demon Wall to make it worthwhile. Black, red. Okay, suplex. Fair enough. Now I will play the Merchant, because then next turn I can double spell with Heck Dies and Vane's Treachery. So it's all about getting these double spells when you can. I'll be able to play Heck Dies, hold up the either loot, or using the Vane's Treachery if need be. Okay, Mystidian Elder. They're playing white mana as well. Interesting. So we will play Heck Dies, make them discard a card, and then pass the turn. And when you're at a high life total, the pings matter a lot less. They discard Thunder Magic. That means their hand has to be exceptional. One of the benefits of Vane's Treachery is if you're going to lose a creature, you can sacrifice it to the Vane's Treachery. So if they're discarding Thunder Magic, they must have some other very good cards. Okay, Circle of Power. So they ping me twice. Their wizards get buffed. This is a good card for black-red, I think. We're not going to use Vane's Treachery here. We will just draw and discard. We don't need these extra lands, so we will discard this island. Then we will just jam Ultimacia. These are both good. So we will keep both. Why is this thing in play? It's a weird glitch. Very strange. Lots of pings happening. I should maybe put the Veins Treachery above this one. Okay. And Ahriman. Any non-creature spell deals 4 damage to me, so I might just be dead here. Because that is a lot from each non-creature spell. So I guess I have to be able to put some pressure on them. I was feeling quite good about this matchup. Yeah, I think I'm going to lose. Yeah. They just got too many of these little wizard guys running around, and I was not pressuring them to stop it. We'll surveil 1 before we surveil 2. Don't want to land. Don't want either of those. Kill a token. Any non-creature spell kills me here. I guess I should have killed the something else instead, because now they can just attack me and I go to 2 anyway. This is just... Oh, gosh. This feels like a bad matchup. Like, sometimes there is a color combo. They can just attack me with everything and I die now, because they have 3 attackers with power. I only have 2 blockers. Oh, no, it's... that's funny. It's a creature, so I didn't get pinged. I guess that's why you never concede. This glitch was really bothering me. It's, like, really distracting. I'm not gonna lie. That was an unnecessary concession, but I don't think I can win this game anyway. They just need to cast 1 spell and I die. Yeah. Pretty much. They can, like, even do something like equip there, attack, and then I go to 1, 2, and then they play a spell next turn. Yeah, I was not going to win this game, but I should not have conceded. See you next round. Welcome to round 2. Looking for some redemption here. I think Ahriman's not the greatest in our deck. It is a nice defensive option. That's a good one. We'll still play the Pixie. We'll take 6 damage from this maybe, or we'll just block it. But I think we want to start surveilling to try and set this guy up. Okay, so they just kill it. They do not give me the option. I was going to block, though. Okay, they play a town that gains them 2 life. Interesting. They must have some town synergies. Play Ahriman. Next turn I can play this and cycle this, if necessary. Not trying to take 3 damage a turn for the rest of the game. This card's great for me, because that means that if it dies, I can play the Sin. Going for the flip, and they lose. Classic. I'm almost certainly going to cycle this to try and hit my land drop so I can try to get to 7 mana. So they win the flip so they can cast whatever color 2-drop or 3-drop they wanted. Ignis. Ouch. So it's a Towns guy. And it's Graveyard Hate, so that's bad for me as well. Now I'm less likely to rely on Sin. I will just use Marlborough normally. Another guy saw greens. Interesting. Let's do it. Okay. I should have attacked first. Balam T-Rexor. I can double block with the Marlboro and the Dire Rat now on the Balam T-Rexor. Single block with Arimon's probably way better, though. And I can sacrifice the rat to get me the treasure I need to cast my Sin. I can't believe they have one of the few graveyard hate cards in the format. It's blocked like this. It's not particularly suspicious. And it fills my graveyard for the Sin. Like, if I block with the 2 4/4s and they have a kill spell for one of them, it's really bad for me. As such, this is the exact trade I wanted to make, but I didn't want them to know that I wanted them to make it. And Dragoon's Wyvern. Sydney's blue-green. Let's send in, hit them for 4. Blue-green might struggle to deal with this guy. They're flipping a coin on their turn here. I get another Arimon. Not the worst hit. Of the hits in my graveyard, it was probably second or third best. So, like, right in the middle of the road. Marlboro was obviously the best one. Okay, Bard's Bow. It doesn't target, so they can't control which one it is. Wow. Okay. I kind of want to sack the Undercity Dire Rat to get a treasure. Especially because if I hit a land, then I can play Lock Coal anyway. I will play the Ilmake Pixie to give myself some extra defenses. This guy can potentially just wipe them out, though. Okay. We'll just keep it classy here. Yep, Marlborough down. They're going to draw 3 cards. Boom! Got the win. Didn't even need the Xenos. Okay. Nice little victory for our deck. Let's see if there's any changes we want to make to the build. Extra filling of the graveyard could be useful. But I think we'll do that naturally. I might prefer the Adventurer's Airship to the Q-Kern Merchant. So I think we're going to try it like that, because we are more of a tempo aggro deck than I anticipated initially. Similarly, this card might be better. The Adventurer's Airship is kind of hard to crew. This is more of a 7-drop. How many artifacts do we have? We don't really have any. 3 artifacts. If this costs 6 mana, we'd be okay with it. I guess we'll just keep this guy in for now, though. Okay, see you next round. Welcome to another round. We will keep this. We've got a lot of removal. We've got a way to get an extra land. We've got some plays to make. The rat is a solid turn 2 play. Okay. We're going to cycle Marlborough because playing Ahriman on turn 3 is pretty important now. Because that can trade with this guy. The Gubu Gardener, sure. We grab another swamp. Beautiful. We play our Ahriman. We can trade it off with Finn. They are color stuck, it looks like. The Chocobo has arrived. Not my favorite card to see. Definitely a trade we're happy to make here. So we will play the rat. And we will play... So this thing gets 3 attacks in, right? No, 2 attacks in chapter 2 and chapter 3. So we can take 8 damage from this. So for now, we'll just play Heck Dies, because there's nothing we want to kill right now. I assume they have spells. Okay, they get rid of the Geisal greens. That's okay. This is a fine trade for us. Gives us a treasure we can sacrifice. Chocobo kick. Okay. Sure thing. We're taking a good chunk of damage here, but this thing's eventually going to fall off the board. That was a pretty good draw. We'd rather play Pixie, I think, because Pixie will attack next turn. And our 2/2 is going to trade with this one. And in a pinch, this can still block the 3/2. I don't know if they're mono green. I assume they're not. It's a lot of damage. Now I need to start holding up Veins. Treachery. I don't need a land. This thing having lifelink is pretty great for me, though. Sure. They don't have a land drop. That makes my Demon Wall a lot better. Play lock coal. Don't need that. Keep holding up Vane's Treachery now. Ride the Shapoof. Okay. That's a good draw. Start gaining some life. Yeah, we don't need that. Draw, discard. We don't have Sin right now, so we certainly don't need the land at the moment. Take out that guy. That's pretty good for me. Play the Q-Kern. End turn. Another Gubu Gardener. Just much worse than a land would have been for them. Yeah, I don't want that. Even though I'm drawing and discarding, I could like technically draw into Sin or something like that. Ice Magic. Yeah, I'd rather have the Vane's Treachery. They got a little bit stuck on lands, but they are playing mono green, it looks like. So they're going to make a 7/7. Boom! Got the win. Whew, feels nice. See you next round. Welcome to another round. We'll keep this. The Ilmeg Pixie. Okay, this into combat tutorial is a really nice little clock for us. We're playing against a white-red deck, but I think we're still okay with this. Ilmeg is definitely a very aggressive card, which means maybe it isn't at its best in blue-black. If I'm trying to be a control deck. Like, combat tutorials are, like, kind of good with, like, my 2-mana 3/3 defender guys. But Ilmeg Pixie is definitely a card that wants to be getting into the combat zone. We're not going to go combat tutorial yet, because putting combat tutorial on lock coal might be at its best. Okay, we need to hit land drop, so we're going to get rid of the Heck Dies. Fate of the Suncrest, sure. I figured they might have that. Play lock coal. They could have also just had like any removal spell though. And sometimes like if you play around this card, like you just end up in a bad spot a lot of the time. Okay. Summon Choco. No block. No blocko. Okay. Draw to put a counter on this guy. Ouch. No land would be rough. But it would not be the end of the world. Draw, discard. Okay, what do I not need? I don't think I need the Q-Kern Merchant. Trying to make Xenos be pretty good here. It plays so well against the summon Choco, because I name the Choco and then the Choco dies on the following turn. And I wipe the rest of their board state, so. And then this guy becomes an 8/8. So. It's like literally like the perfect thing for me to do. Machinist Arsenal, okay. Okay, so for now we will just attack, see what we find. I don't mind doing this. Side quest, catch a fish. Sure. I'm going to get rid of the Ilmeg Pixie. Land. They do not get to flip this. Sure. Just gonna go all out. Coral Sword, okay. So if they flash this in, this guy gets +2/+2, and the extra +1, so it'll hit me for 8. Could have saved Ice Magic just to bounce this guy. But it's not that costly to equip it around. Oh. That's funny. This is just about exactly what I was hoping for. So as a 6/6, I could try to kill this, but they flash this in and it gets +2/+2, so remember that. That's why I did it this way. Chosen hero. Sure. So this is going to get, it's going to be a 9/8. If I'm going to give it -6/-6. Is it sorcery speed? So it's going to be a 9/8. Because he's going to get +1/+0 and then +2/+2 from this extra artifact. So it's going to be a 9/8. I'm going to give it -6/-6. So it's going to be a 3/2. And then I will activate my Demon Wall. I'll have my 8/8 flyer, and that'll be game. For some reason, my mind just kind of fought me on doing the math there. It was like, I don't want to do the math. Just do it. It'll work. It'll work. And I was like, okay, there's no reason not to double check. I know all the information. They're literally dead. I guess they're not technically. They can gain 3 life. No, but this is 13. So yeah, they're not technically dead. They're just making this take a while. Got him. Nicely done, nicely done. We're climbing up. See you next round. Welcome. This is a very good hand. Very defensive. Got our 2-drop into Combat Tutorial to buff it up. This is an even better one to buff up because it can actually attack. And a 2/5 is really hard to get through. This could be a defensive matchup. Blue-black versus blue-black. Marlboro could be really good here. Sin could be really good if we draw it. For now, though, we're just going to be trying to leverage our card advantage. Hit our land drops with combat tutorials. Oh, gosh. This is a bad sign. That's not good. I could lose the game on the spot, pretty much. It's a lot of cards that have Surveil on them. So they do nothing on turn 3. Interesting. There's also, like, you have to do some work to make this card good. Oh, that's definitely going to be good. Oh, dear. Yeah, that's a must kill. Yep. So they keep holding up 3 mana. I don't think they have... I mean, it's not a combat trick because they would have boosted this guy's stats. It's not a counterspell because they would have countered it. They must have just had, like, awkward draws with their colors or something. Okay, we're going to snipe their last card with Marlboro. That's a good feeling. Oh, that's a combo as well. When you play this card in your deck, you're almost always going to want to put a Lunatic Pandora into your deck. Okay, the horizon has been reached. So this is a 4/4 now. Play land for sure. This guy's a 5/5 now. If I activate this guy and attack, I might actually still be able to nab a card from their hand with this because they're going to probably bring this guy back next turn. So if they draw a spell, I can actually take it, probably. So yeah, like they have a card in their hand now. And it's a spell, because if it was a land, they'd play it. I think. Never mind. Yeah, so this turn I can activate this. Still have a chance to nab a card from their hand. This card was less scary than I thought it would be. Heck dies. Nab whatever spell they drew. Oh, it was a land, okay. Kill that. Let's buff up this demon wall because it has menace. Okay. They go to 1. Bard's Bow. That's not going to do it. They didn't surveil a single time. We broke up their combo. That was lucky that we got our removal when we did. Still, I think we played this game pretty well. Definitely a nice feeling. I feel like I'm in the zone in a bit in some ways. Other than the first game where I conceded slightly prematurely, but that game was lost anyway. Okay, we'll just do this for funsies. And then win. Boom. Got the job done. And we're 4-1 now. So any draft where you get more than 50%, pretty good. And we'll keep the success rolling, hopefully. Welcome to round number... We're 4-1, so 6. We're going to keep this on the play. It's an ambitious keep, but we need 1 land to make it really pop off. And in a 17 land deck, you're generally going to get there. And if they don't kill this guy right now, we're going to get our combat tutorial onto an Ilmeg Pixie on the draw, which should find us a swamp, and then we can start deploying our cards. Green-white, not the best at killing this thing on turn 2. Town Greeter, perfect. That's good for us. Okay, they hit a forest, but they milled some pretty good cards. Those are 3 good uncommons. Definitely play the swamp here, because we want to be able to double spell next turn. Good, good. And now we can mill any lands. We'll keep another Ilmeg Pixie. Because we can go double spell, double spell. And the Surveils are going to help us find our good cards. But Ilmeg is one of our better cards in this scenario. Sure. So we'll plan ahead first by attacking. Ahriman is going to be a good card, so we will keep that. It wants to tap me out. Okay, so I'm going to play the land. Play this. We'll play the rat, because the rat can trade with the hero. And we have good flying. The treasure can eventually be sacrificed to the Ahriman. Apologies for looking at my phone during such an intense battle. We are battling. My deck isn't really a control deck as much as it is a tempo deck, though with 3 combat tutorials, it kind of is a control deck because that's so much card draw to put into a deck. I have really liked combat tutorial, like really liked it. Like it might be one of Blue's best commons, and Blue has some pretty solid commons. Like it's top 5, I think for sure. I mean, there's only like 12 or 13 of them, so top 5 isn't saying that much, but still, it might be in the top 3. It's definitely quite good. Okay. Choco Kick. I'm glad I have the backup Ilmeg Pixie. Are they stuck on lands? Is the question. Commune with beavers. So they might be stuck on lands. Okay, they grabbed a Delivering Moogle. They're not stuck on lands. Okay, they're using their guy for defensive purposes. We will attack before we make our decisions, as is generally correct. We do not need that forest, that's for sure. So that's basically drew us a card, because any forest is useless to us. Okay, the Dire Rat is down. They have lost their guy. We'll play our Heck Dies. They can get back a Dragoon's Lance or something. Choco, okay. Play Ahriman, because that way we can sacrifice this treasure next turn. And start sacrificing Heck Dies as well. Depending on how the next turn goes, we might just do a double sacrifice situation, draw a couple cards with our Ahriman, convert our tempo advantage into some card advantage. Are they moogling? Are you moogling, sir? Renoa Heartily is a great card. Okay. It's not the worst for me to see, because I was planning on taking a more defensive tact anyway. We will play our land first here. Then we will attack with the Ahriman. And then we'll play this. Okay, so there's another Ahriman. Maybe we weren't supposed to attack with the Ahriman, because taking 7 is a big hit. And then their town greeter will become an 8/8. 9/9 trampler. I'm going to get soloed by this guy, aren't I? It's going to do quite some damage. They're going to Moogle anyway, and that's going to get the giant buff. So it's going to get 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's going to be a 12, 12 trample. So I might be dead. Oh, that's such a huge draw. That's a game changer. Okay. So this for 4 mana. Okay. I would like to draw Ultimecia. Maybe I should have just played an untapped land instead of this so I could get Ahriman into play. I figured they'd be doing it like that, though, yeah. I should have held back the Pixie, probably. I can't beat a protection spell here. Yeah. So I take 4, go to 7. And this thing's going to flip next turn. As long as I put one of the 2 cards into the graveyard to get to 8. Because I have 8 mana. And this thing can block this death thing with Death Touch. So I'm in okay shape here. No need to attack. Because I might need a backup jump blocker. Okay, we're keeping that guy for sure. Okay, so we go to an extra turn and then we use Sin. I think we got this. We're perfectly willing to chump block with our Ilmeg Pixie. Sure. The one combat trick that gets me here is +3/+3 and trample, because I don't think I'm supposed to play around that. Like, that feels like too much playing around if I play around that. It's not a very commonly played combat trick. And, like, Ahriman blocks this very neatly, and if they give it +3/+3 and trample, they give it +3/+3 and trample. I'm not gonna... So maybe I can afford to play around it. Okay, Chocobo Kick. Okay. Because they're going to turn this into a thing, and I might need a chump blocker for that. Surveil, that's a huge draw. Oh, gosh. Okay, that's not great for me. This is why I didn't chump with the Ilmeg Pixie. I go to 1 here, and now I win. Or I presumably win. What a crazy game this was. I mean, it's not over yet, but it's in very good shape for me. I think I will keep that. Lifelink and Death Touch is a good combo for this board state right now. Like, if they cast a board wipe, that would be a good card to draw. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Boom! Got the win. Let's go. Where did I make mistakes there? I think I attacked a bit too aggressively sometimes to try and get my surveils, because I kept leaving the cards on top. But if I had been able, like, if I could have... Yeah, this thing attacked really hard. Maybe I was supposed to do something a little bit differently, but drawing that bounce spell was absolutely huge. Attacking with Ahriman was a bit aggressive, but yeah, really, really good win, and we'll learn from it. I think that one attack with Ahriman was the mistake. I think I should have been willing to trade with Summon Titan, because I didn't quite process how much damage it was going to be, and I played too quickly. So we'll learn from that. We'll do that better next game, and we escaped with the win anyway, so I'll see you next round. Welcome to another game. After that last one where I played a little bit too fast, we're going to slow down and be a little bit more focused. But this is an easy keep. And this is a really good example of why these lands are so good, because if I'd taken like a random spell over this land, then I might have to mulligan this if this happened to be one of my swamps. Here we're going to get the Ilmeg Pixie rolling, help me hit land drops. We can play the defenders later as follow-up plays up against a Grixis deck. Okay, we do want to make sure we hit our land drops, so we will swamp cycle first, because we want to be able to stack the top of our deck in our favor, and if we attack first, then we'll shuffle our deck, so it's important to have sequencing. Okay, Sahagin attacks. Sure. We don't want to run Combat Tutorial out too aggressively, so we'll just attack. That is a great card. I like it. Play Demon Wall. Play Demon Wall. We're not going to be using this just yet, but we will find a use for this that's good, I think. So they can't stop the card draw unless they are using counter magic. Because it does target me as a player. Keep the land on top. And one of the reasons I targeted the Demon Wall, I could have targeted the Pixie if I was afraid of bounce, but I was afraid of like actual removal. Suplex, sure. Play our land. We're getting a lot of value here. We don't need a second Ahriman. They already know about this one. We will play Ahriman now. This guy is definitely more of an insurance play right now. Okay, Sahagin becomes even scarier. Do they have a bounce spell? No. So this is a very aggressive play by me. If they have an interactor spell, which it would seem they probably do. I do like Lock Cole a lot. And the lifelink seems potentially relevant. Okay, so I can kill one of the things. If I had held up Vane's Treachery, I wasn't able to do that. Okay. So this guy would kill both my own dudes. Sahagin is a problem. So Ahriman can block the Valkyrie and then sacrifice the Ilmeg Pixie. Or I can sack the Ilmeg Pixie to kill the Sahagin. Sure, Sahagin remains unblockable. So this actually will fizzle it because it was only one target. Don't want that. So I was going to kill my own guy. Now at least I have an 8/8 flyer for my troubles. Keep this land so I can loot it away, even though I have Sin in the deck still. Okay, so they're looking for an answer to an 8/8 flyer. A lot of the times they won't have one. Boom! We got the win. Let's go. Huge. We are playing very precise, I think, right now. I'm feeling really good about it. That was a tough game to manage because my guy was like -2/-2, but all my creatures were 2/2s. And then, yeah, maybe I was slightly impatient. Like I could have held up my card for a turn, like my kill spell, and not gone for the menace, but it felt like the menace was the correct play there. And yeah, the Sahagin would have been a problem, but we managed to kill it. We blew out the Choco Bird card, and I'll see you folks in the final round. Welcome to the final round. We are keeping this hand. It's once again the kind of sketchy, need to draw one land to make it work with the Pixie. But this time we also have the Scorpion Sentinel. And this is also something that can happen. You can get punished for running these forests, and we are seeing that now. But it's still such a powerful card with Sin. Ideally, we'd have better mana, but Sin is so good that it's worth the challenge. Okay, they sleep magic my Pixie. Sure. That'll be really good for me for Vane's Treachery later. Play a second Pixie. The Regalia. Okay, that's really bad for me. They are going to start snowballing out of control with that. I don't draw a swamp this turn. Okay, we do not draw a swamp. So we probably are going to lose this game. That is one of the most punishing rares in this set. We're just looking for our Sin and stuff like that. Regalia does hit like a truck, even though it's a sedan. I'm pretty proud of that line. I didn't deliver it the best, but it's because I kind of thought of it as I was saying it. Oh, gosh. Yep, I also get hit by a truck with the Scorpion guy. Okay, boom. Heck dies. And then I will pass the turn. Sure. They draw a card. Yep. Yep. Double block. Kill that guy. The Regalia is down. I could have killed the Scorpion Sentinel, I guess. It was a tough call. We're actually not out of this. It's not good if they're discarding 3 mana 5/3s. Okay, so now we're... Yeah, now we're dead. We were close to being in it. That was a tough game. That was a real tough game. If we hadn't had color issues, I think we would have been able to win. But they had a very fast start combined with the color issues, and that's how it goes sometimes. See you in the actual final round. Welcome to the final round, and we have our Sin, we have our colors. This is the game for us to win. And they're playing Cactuar, so I'm feeling confident. This card basically, it comes into play, but it doesn't have haste. And then it can hit me, and then it has to go back to their hand on this end step. Okay, this card's a problem. Torgal is a really good card. Torgal's real good. The other funny thing is Cactuar means they're always vulnerable to Heck Dies. We will play Demon Wall. Town Greeter, really good with Torgal. Torgal's a messed up card. It's so powerful. Well, they milled their Giant. Their Titan. Normally, I wouldn't do this. Normally, I would just slam Ahriman, take the 3, but I really do want to preserve my life total until I can get to Sin mana, and I don't think it's going to matter that much whether or not I have a Heck Dies in play. Okay, Regalia. So they're looking like they're short on lands. Normally, I wouldn't just kill the Mana Dork here, but this one also buffs up any humans they play, and there's quite a few humans in green-white. And it can ramp them up to higher manas. So if they have a combat trick, it's pretty good. Yep. I guess maybe I spewed off my removal spell too soon. Because now they're ahead on mana, pretty much. And Riona, oh my gosh. Rinoa is such a messed up card. Rinoa is indeed messed up. It is also a human, but... The rat. That's actually one of maybe my best draw in my entire deck. Because it can block, and also then I can play Sin next turn. I think I'm going to lose this game, actually. It's funny because my deck was real good except against the Regalia. Real good except against the Regalia. So I play this because I need to guarantee playing my Sin this turn. Making him discard a card's not the worst. Them discarding that is pretty horrific for me, though. I'm definitely dead. Yeah. Yep. I don't think I could have won this game. Even if I had saved my removal spell, I'm just super dead anyway. The way their draw lined up. But if I didn't kill Torgal, I could have maybe... It's funny because in retrospect, it would have worked out so much better for me if I had just played the Ahriman on turn 3. Because then they played Regalia. And then... like, against cards that are not the Regalia, it would have been better, I think, to just play the way I played it. Like... Use Veins... No, I didn't use Veins Treachery. What did I use? I played my 1/4, right. I played my 1/4 against the 3/3 cacti guy. Whatever. If I had played my Scorpion Sentinel instead of my Demon Wall, then on turn 3 I could have played Ahriman instead of Scorpion Sentinel, and then on turn 4 I could have held up my Veins Treachery so that if they go for some sort of... For starters, I would have had Ahriman to block the Regalia. And then if they do go for something, I have Veins Treachery. Honestly, killing Torgal was fine, I think. It's more so just that if I had played Scorpion Sentinel instead of Demon Wall, when I knew they had Cactuar. Like, they played Cactuar turn 1. And for some reason, my mind was like, oh, I want to play my 3/3 against their 3/3. I guess I wanted to threaten the trade. I just didn't... Like if I played this guy first, then I can play Arimon next. Then the following turn, I can play Demon Wall and hold up Vane's Treachery, or I can play my other guy, and it works out so much smoother. So yeah, that was a blunder. I don't think it would have mattered because their curve out was pretty sick, and Regalia is a messed up card no matter what. But like I could have gone Heck Dies, then sacrificed Heck Dies to kill Regalia before they get a land from it. And then I don't have any removal for the Renoa, and Renoa hits really hard, and they have it would have been a 5/5. So I still think I'm gonna lose, but yeah, interesting stuff. Feels kind of bad to go 0-1 into 6-1 into 6-3, but 6-3 still feels good. So it was nice. Also, we have this rare that would have been so good in this matchup. The Zenith would have been great there, I think, to kill a bunch of their stuff. I think they had some small things. But yeah, if you did make it all the way to the end of this video, in the comment section down below, leave hashtag... what's a good one? It's really about the 2-drop, 3-drops. So hashtag curve to let me know you made it all the way to the end of the video. I do hope you enjoyed it. That's going to do it for this one, though. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you next time.